From the windswept islands of the Aegean to the sun-drenched hills of the Peloponnese, a civilization was born that would shape the very foundations of our world. A place of gods and heroes, of philosophers and warriors. But how did this small collection of city-states, often at war with each other, rise to forge an empire of the mind that still governs how we think, speak, and live today? This is the story of ancient Greece, not just a tale of marble ruins and epic poems, but the story of us. Our journey begins not with the famed Parthenon, but much earlier, around 3000 BC, in the Bronze Age. On the island of Crete, the Minoan civilization flourished. They were master sailors and traders, building magnificent palaces like Knossos, adorned with vibrant frescoes of leaping dolphins and bull jumpers. They developed a writing system, Linear A, which remains undeciphered, a silent testament to their lost world. But around 1450 BC, their civilization mysteriously declined, possibly due to a volcanic eruption or invasion. As the Minoans faded, a new power rose on the mainland, the Mycenaeans. These were the heroes of Homer's Iliad: Agamemnon, Achilles, Odysseus. They were a warlike people, building massive hilltop fortresses with walls so large that later Greeks believed they were built by giants, the Cyclopes. Their society was a network of kingdoms, rich with gold and bronze, who traded and raided across the Mediterranean. They adapted the Minoan script into their own, known as Linear B, which we have deciphered, revealing a highly organized bureaucracy of taxes, tributes, and military logistics. But their glory was short-lived. Around 1200 BC, a perfect storm of internal strife. Invasions by the mysterious sea peoples and systemic collapse plunged Greece into a dark age. For nearly 400 years, writing was lost, cities were abandoned, and the population plummeted. It was a time of survival, a reset button for Greek civilization. But in the shadows of this collapse, new seeds were sown. Ironworking replaced bronze, offering stronger tools and weapons. Small communities began to regroup, and oral traditions kept the tales of the heroic age alive. It was during this period that the bard Homer is said to have composed the Iliad and the Odyssey, epic poems that would become the cornerstone of Greek education and identity. Around 800 BC, the dawn broke. This was the start of the Archaic period, a time of explosive change. The Greeks relearned to write, adopting and adapting the Phoenician alphabet. This new, simpler script democratized literacy and fueled a cultural renaissance. The most significant development was the rise of the polis, or city-state. Places like Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes became independent, self-governing entities. Each had its own army, its own laws, and its own patron deity. This fierce independence bred innovation, but also constant rivalry. This was also the era of colonization. Land-hungry and enterprising, Greeks sailed out to establish new cities across the Mediterranean, from Spain to the Black Sea, spreading their culture, language, and ideas far and wide. And in 776 BC, the first Olympic Games were held, a festival that brought Greeks together in peaceful athletic competition. The 5th century BC ushered in the classical period, the Golden Age of Greece. It began with a fight for survival. The mighty Persian Empire, stretching from India to Egypt, turned its eyes westward. Against all odds, a coalition of Greek city-states, led by Athens and Sparta, repelled to massive invasions. The victories at Marathon, Thermopylae, and Salamis were more than just military triumphs. They were a validation of the Greek way of life. They believed their freedom had defeated despotism. In the wake of the Persian Wars, Athens entered its golden age. Under the leadership of the statesman Pericles, democracy flourished. It was a direct democracy, where eligible male citizens gathered to vote on every law and policy. This political freedom unleashed an unprecedented wave of creativity. In Athens, the Parthenon rose on the Acropolis, a monument to the goddess Athena and the city's power. Sculptors like Phidias achieved a new level of realism and idealism in their work. In the open-air theaters, playwrights like Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides invented tragedy, exploring timeless human questions of fate, justice, and morality. Meanwhile, Aristophanes made audiences roar with laughter at his satirical comedies. This was also the age of philosophy. Socrates walked the streets of Athens, questioning everything and everyone in his search for truth, a pursuit that would ultimately cost him his life. His student, Plato, founded the Academy, a school of thought that would influence Western philosophy for millennia. And Plato's student, Aristotle, became a polymath, making groundbreaking contributions to logic, biology, ethics, and politics. In science and mathematics, Pythagoras, Euclid, and Archimedes laid down principles we still use today. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, shifted the focus from divine punishment to natural causes for disease. But this golden age was built on a fragile peace. The rivalry between democratic Athens and the militaristic oligarchy of Sparta erupted into the devastating Peloponnesian War. For nearly 30 years, the Greek world tore itself apart. The conflict exhausted the city-states, leaving them weakened and vulnerable. Sparta emerged victorious, but its dominance was brief. The endless cycle of warfare continued, paving the way for a new power from the north. From the Kingdom of Macedon, King Philip II, a brilliant military and political strategist, unified his kingdom and reformed its army. He looked south at the divided Greeks and saw an opportunity. After his victory at the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BC, he brought most of Greece under his control. But his ultimate ambition to lead a united Greek army against the Persian Empire was cut short by his assassination. That epic task fell to his 20-year-old son, Alexander. Taught by Aristotle himself, Alexander was a military genius of unparalleled vision and audacity. In just over a decade, he led his army on an unbelievable campaign, conquering the Persian Empire and marching as far as India. He didn't just conquer lands, he founded cities, many named Alexandria, and actively fused Greek and Eastern cultures. He encouraged his soldiers to marry local women and adopted Persian customs himself. Alexander's death at the young age of 32 shattered his empire, which was carved up by his generals. But he had irrevocably changed the world. This began the Hellenistic Age. Greek language, art, philosophy, and science spread across the vast territories Alexander had conquered, from Egypt to Afghanistan. Great centers of learning, like the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, became beacons of knowledge, preserving and expanding upon the intellectual heritage of the classical era. While the political power of the Greek city-states had waned, their cultural influence was at its absolute peak. But a new, pragmatic, and organized power was rising in the West: Rome. Gradually, the Romans expanded eastward, absorbing the Hellenistic kingdoms one by one. By 146 BC, mainland Greece had become a Roman province. The Roman conquest marked the political end of ancient Greece, but not the end of its influence. In fact, the Romans were profound admirers of Greek culture. As the Roman poet Horace famously said, "Captive Greece took its captor captive." They adopted Greek gods, copied Greek art, and studied Greek philosophy. Through the Roman Empire, Greek thought was preserved and transmitted across Europe, forming the bedrock of what we call Western civilization. The legacy of ancient Greece is all around us. The words we use, like democracy, philosophy, and theater, are Greek. The scientific method, trial by jury, and the very idea of history itself have their roots in this ancient world. Their struggles with freedom versus tyranny, the individual versus the state, and reason versus superstition are still our struggles. They were not perfect. Their society was built on slavery and excluded women from public life, but their relentless questioning, their celebration of human potential, and their pursuit of excellence set a standard that continues to inspire and challenge us 2,500 years later. The story of ancient Greece is a reminder that the ideas of a small group of people in a small corner of the world can echo through eternity. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through history fascinating, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments which civilization you'd like us to explore next.